Good morning. Thank you for joining us. This is a very exciting day, a great day for the people of Illinois and frankly for people of Missouri as well. Today we are announcing significant new grants that are being invested in our communities to expand and improve our transportation network so we can move our freight more efficiently and effectively, increase the quality of life for the people of Illinois, and also increase public safety and efficiency through our rail and road system. Today we are announcing that we are authorizing $241 million of new federal grants that were being released around the state of Illinois for 23 new transportation projects. That is in addition to $90 million of state resources and private investment to go with the $241 million. We have 23 projects around the state that we're announcing. 6 of those projects are in the Metro East region here. And we're here in East St. Louis to announce that we have a specific project to bring back the rail line, the M&O rail line that's been out of use for many years. We are restoring it and bringing it back so we can use it again, and that way increase rail freight traffic while avoiding the conflicts on the highway system that the existing tracks have. We have too many freight road crossings. It's leading to delays in our truck traffic. It's leading to delays in our commute of our hardworking families around this region. We want to get rid of those delays, increase safety, and now we're going to be able to move our freight across a line that is being restored and being brought back. This will be $2 million investment in the new rail line from the federal funds to go with $500,000 of private investors to bring back that rail line. It's very exciting, great progress. We're also announcing we're going to dramatically improve the interchange for I-270 and Illinois Highway 111. We're doing things in the 2 ports with the Port Authority, bringing back the barge dock and improving the road to Highway 3. So we've got a lot of exciting initiatives here to improve the quality of life and the transportation efficiency for Metro East, all with the goal of growing more good-paying jobs, higher family incomes here in Metro East and across the state of Illinois. With that, I'd like to turn the podium over to Secretary Blankenhorn from the Illinois Department of Transportation to talk further about the projects. Thank you.
Thank you, Governor. And it is a good day in Illinois and a good day in the Metro East area. We're pleased to be announcing these 6 projects and happy to do it here with a great backdrop, great partnerships that we've had. I was here last week talking to a group of business people and said, this area has its act together. You've done a great job of thinking about what the future looks like for your communities, how we come together and make transportation investments that drive economic growth, that drive the creation of jobs, and that drive real community investment that's going to make a difference. When we got here, Governor Rauner said we have to think differently about how we invest in our transportation system. We have to be more innovative. We have to think multimodally. We have to think about how we move goods here in Illinois because we are the freight capital of North America. We've got to do it smarter. We've got to do it better. And this program really is designed to do that, to think about how we move goods without thinking so much about is it a highway project, is it a rail project, is it a river project, but how do we do it in a way that makes sense for the people of Illinois and makes sense for the businesses that are here and want to do business here. And that's really what this program is going to do for us, is to make investments that move goods well, that strengthen our communities, and that create jobs. I'm proud to be able to have a couple of our grantees here with us, and I'm going to introduce first our host, Mike McCarthy of the Terminal Railroad Association, to talk about what it means for here at the Terminal Railroad. Mike?
I want to thank Governor Rauner and his staff, and I want to thank Secretary Blankenhorn and the entire IDOT staff, and as well as Bi-State Development, who helped sponsor this project along with the St. Louis Freightway. And thank you for selecting this project. I can't help but to think it was because of the great marketing, the name we picked for it, which is reestablish Terminal Railroad Association's Conalog Main through M&O Junction in East St. Louis. You can't get any better branding than that. For 129 years, Terminal Railroad Association has been providing rail service to southwestern Illinois. Much has changed in 129 years. Today, in the past 15 years, there's been explosive growth on the Illinois side, all the way from Granite City down to Cahokia, Illinois. We have seen new facilities, and we have seen the rehabilitation and the expansion of existing facilities, and they are high volume and efficient facilities. Our rail and road infrastructure has not kept up. The first mile and last mile connections are not adequate to efficiently serve and these facilities at this time. Today, to bring unit trains to our unit trains of agriculture products to Cargill, Bunge, and SCF facilities we serve, our route takes us through the heart of East St. Louis residential and business districts. The route crosses 12 road crossings, and 4 of those are major truck crossings. Reestablish the M&O Junction to Conalog route allows us to use a route that avoids all but 2 road crossings, and they are low volume road crossings. Trains will move at a higher speed, they'll be on a shorter route, and they'll provide safety, economic development, and reduce bottlenecks. I think it's a great example of public-private partnerships that's a winner for all stakeholders. To close, I'd like to thank Governor Rauner for his efforts to create a positive business environment in southwestern Illinois. And I especially want to thank Secretary Blankenhorn for his innovative approach to this program that makes some funds available for multimodal projects. It was a transparent process, and it used performance-driven matrix to select those projects. So a lot of gratitude to you. And with that, I want to hand it over to my good friend Dennis Wilmsmeyer. He is the Executive Director of America's Central Port. Dennis?
Good morning. Governor Rauner and your administration, I want to thank you very much for the job that you've done in coming up with this very creative and innovative approach to handling and working with freight and treating it as the job creator and growth engine that we know it is in this region. To IDOT Secretary Randy Blankenhorn, the same goes to you. This was not easy on their staff, coming up with this creative approach, coming up with an entire system, a matrix set up for projects that are typically not road projects that they deal with on a daily basis. These port projects, rail projects, things like that, without having that ability to sit down with a matrix that's already in place, really having to come up with this, create this over the last 6 months or so, and put this all together. It's truly a great accomplishment by your staffs. I want to thank also the Leadership Council, Southwestern Illinois Transportation Enhancement Committee. Great job by Rhonda Sauget, John Langa, Mark Harms, and others on those committees and with the Leadership Council. And for the St. Louis Regional Freightway, Mary Lamy, who couldn't be here today, but certainly John Nations with Bi-State Development Agency, and John Langa and Ken Franklin are here supporting Bi-State Development Agency. The cooperative support from a regional perspective and approach to these projects, I think, is key. We heard that time and time again throughout this process. We heard it from Randy Blankenhorn last week about how this region works together and brings those projects forward, puts these on a high priority pedestal, and the entire region gets behind the projects and pushes them forward. And it's just a great job by all those leaders in the region to make these things happen. Something that seemingly can be so mundane or boring as the loading of boxes or other cargo into a truck or rail car or barge is being viewed and valued by the state of Illinois for the tremendous impact it has on jobs and the reduction of delays and the potential attraction of new manufacturers to our area. We stand here today in East St. Louis in the middle of the agricultural or ag coast of America, a 15-mile stretch of the Mississippi River that has more agricultural handling capacity than any other point on the river system. We stand here today in the midst of the most efficient river operation in the country, ranking in as 2.5 times more efficient than our nearest competitor on the Ohio River. We stand here today in a region that averages 5 million square feet of new warehouse and distribution space constructed each year, that is served by 6 Class 1 railroads, 5 major interstates, 4 public ports, the 3rd busiest inland port in America, 2 major commercial service airports, and the #1 in terms of transportation opportunities, or as we like to call it, transportunities. As we stand here today surrounded by tens of thousands of jobs in warehousing, distribution, logistics, manufacturing, and transportation, it's the state of Illinois' incredible approach to investing in our region and our infrastructure that is truly great indeed. Let's give them a round of applause for their investment in our future. Very briefly, I want to highlight the 2 projects at America's Central Port that have been accepted for award. First, our General Cargo Dock is one of several facilities at the Granite City Harbor that support the overall movement of nearly 3 million tons of commodities by river barge annually. Tim Power, Paul Wellhausen from SCF Marine are here today, and I thank them for their commitment to this project as well. The harbor was constructed in the 1960s and has continually operated since its construction. 2 major project elements will be performed. The installation of a fender system composed of pipe piles that will be driven down through the water into the river bottom at the edge of the dock. This will help keep the barges from rubbing up against that dock and from deteriorating the steel, and gets us many more years of use out of that dock. Secondly is the resurfacing of that dock surface to full depth concrete. The dock routinely handles heavy steel coils and heavy equipment. Today, the surface has disintegrated to a gravel with potholes and a very uneven surface. Safety is a major concern, and a new surface will allow the operator to invest in newer equipment and increase the efficiency of loading trucks from barges manyfold. The second project funded is the construction of a new access road from the port to southbound Illinois Route 3. This will not be a signalized intersection, but rather a very cost-effective exit and entrance onto Illinois Route 3 southbound at the port, as well as the concrete rehabilitation of a major street in our warehouse district. Today, trucks find our warehouses through the various entrances into the port, including one through a residential area. The new access road will speed access to and from the warehouses and open the heart of America's Central Port's industrial park to many manufacturers. Today, I applaud Governor Rauner and the entire administration for seeing the value of freight movement and putting the state's limited dollars to use in a very wise way, and that is for the investment in the infrastructure of southwestern Illinois and the creation of jobs for our residents. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dennis. Transportunities. Can I steal that?
It's not trademark.
It's, you know, when we came through and started to think about what freight means and how we deal with freight in this, for too long the state of Illinois has ignored our ports. They're a valuable asset to us. Governor Rauner has asked us to think about how we can make use of our entire transportation system, and our partnership with the port districts, not just here but across the state, is a key element to that. So with that, the governor will be happy to take any questions about what we're announcing today.
Thanks. Any questions from members of the media? Yes. Well, we are in communication in our administration with all the governors around the Midwest, as well as in other parts of the country. When Illinois does well, our neighbors do well. When our neighbors do well, Illinois does well. We are in an economic partnership. We're in competition, but it's a friendly competition. When we invest in infrastructure here on the Illinois side, that helps St. Louis metropolitan area grow, attract more businesses, attract more jobs, and increase the quality of life. Bringing back this rail line that we're doing, this increases public safety. We no longer have to have the trains blocking 4 other road interchanges. Now those will be free and clear. They won't be blocked by all this rail traffic. That means faster commutes. That means more efficient transportation for businesses, and that means more jobs and a higher quality of life. We've got 6 projects in the Metro East. We are very committed. I'm personally very committed to improving economic opportunity and the quality of life here in East St. Louis and the Metro East region. I do want to call out the mayor of East St. Louis. I think she's doing a fantastic job. I've met with her in Springfield on a number of occasions. Mayor Jackson Hicks is phenomenal. I'm a big fan. As the Secretary of our Department of Transportation said, we in Illinois need to think more strategically. IDOT shouldn't only be about highways. Highways are critical. We need to invest more in our highways and our bridges, but our entire transportation system drives economic opportunity, higher family incomes, and better quality of life. So we need to think about our ports, our rail lines, our intermodal facilities, and the way we bring more freight transit and more high-quality transportation on every element. Because Illinois' economy is dependent upon high-quality transportation of every mode, of every modality. And that means truck, train, barge, air. We need to invest in every type of modality so we can increase jobs, increase family incomes, and have a higher quality of life. Illinois is the transportation hub of America, and we need to invest more in our transportation network to create more economic opportunity for our residents. To Governor Parson, not specifically me, no. Our team has been talking to the Governor of Missouri's team on a regular basis. So we have 6 projects here in Metro East. There are going to be a lot of initial construction jobs. I don't know if we've got an estimate, but many, hundreds of those. But the most important thing is it's going to help us recruit many more companies and help Bunge expand, help Cargill expand, help ADM expand, help our trucking firms expand. It's going to lead to more jobs and more economic growth overall. Mr. Secretary, you are.
This project specifically?
Yeah, I want you to answer that.
Depends on when the funding becomes available, but we can move on this as soon as the contracts and the funding become available.
Total development time would be how much, do you think?
Well, since it was already engineered back in 1860, the engineering is already done by and large.
Okay. Other questions? Yeah, so we will be announcing our new head of the Department of Veterans Affairs, and we'll be announcing major new investment. I applaud the General Assembly on a bipartisan basis. They came through at my request to release funds, authorize funds, so we could completely redevelop the facilities there. Those facilities, we're talking about this rail line was developed in 1860. The Quincy Veterans Home was built in the 1880s. Many of the plumbing pipes were from the 1880s. We can't keep the veterans as safe as they deserve to be with plumbing that old. We can't eradicate a lot of the bacteria. We've done all the chemicals, all the heat treatment, all the filtering we can do. Because of the age and the complexity of the pipes, we can't get it exactly where we need it, so now we're going to take the next level and we're going to replace everything. I'll say this. Blagojevich's case and behavior has been reviewed by judges, many judges, including the Supreme Court, by many legal experts, many attorneys. They've all come to the conclusion that Blagojevich is where he belongs and he should stay where he's at. And so I'll leave it at that.
What do you think the Supreme Court's going to say about Janice?
That case should be decided in the next few weeks. We shall see what the Supreme Court decides. I obviously began that case by initiating it myself personally when I first became governor. I was removed from the case because I'm not an AFSCME member and I don't get paid. I'm a volunteer. I take no compensation. But I applaud Mark Janus for bravely stepping forward. This is about workers' rights. This is about freedom of speech and freedom of political affiliation. That's what this case is about. I believe in the freedom of speech and political affiliation for all of our state employees. And I hope and believe that the Supreme Court will rule in favor of freedom of speech.
The budget includes a buyout option for pensions.
Yeah.
What happens if you don't get enough people to take the buyout?
We've done a lot of discussion with state employees, and we've done a lot of analysis. We believe that we're conservative in our estimate. This will save almost $500 million in the first year. Because the buyout economics are reasonable for many folks, especially younger workers, and we believe that many will take advantage of the buyout option. It's an option, it's a choice they can make. But we are also eliminating some of the end-of-career spiking that's gone on in compensation that's artificially inflated pension costs, and we've done other reforms to reform the pensions so they're fair for both retirees as well as for taxpayers. Thanks, everybody. Great. Good job. Mayor, great job.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Good work, Governor.
Thanks so much.
Secretary,